What's going on, everybody? It's Tacos All Day. I got my good friend as always,
Kami.
and we got two special guests, and let's introduce them.
Hi, I'm Evo.
This is Nova.
And we got a pretty interesting topic to talk about. And my friend Kami brought it up, so let's hear you see what this question is that you want to ask.
My question is, why does every race and everybody think and feel safe when they attack black women? Why are they comfortable when they do these things? And they almost do it with impunity. That's my question. So, Taco, Evo, or Nova.
Whoever wants to go ahead and tackle this first, feel free.
What do you mean by attack? Like physically attack, verbally attack?
I mean, both. Everywhere you go, you can hear somewhere, "Oh, you black bitch, man, fuck you." You know what I'm saying? And that's verbal abuse. And then clearly what we just seen with the McDonald's, he had no issue grabbing this little girl up by her shirt until she gave him
The McHands.
yes.
Oh, yeah. Got churches, 2 pieces of biscuit.
Mm-hmm. And a free side.
Yes. Mind you, with other black people there, female and male.
So I'm going to say this. It has to go with what we're taught in regards to religion. So hence, if you have this white man's Bible, white man's picture, so hence, if you look at the video, they did not touch him till like after the fact, right?
Yes.
So
And
that
even,
right there.
Even on top of that, they didn't touch him. They pulled her off of him.
They did. They did.
So,
Go ahead.
So and let's look at it objectively real quick. In customer service, we are always taught the customers right, especially in McDonald's, especially in those kind of fast food places where you get angry people. You got a mom that got 15 kids and she only got $20. So in that aspect, you're taught to have unending patience, and so it's like I think it was a trained reaction for them to say, "Oh no, the customer," instead of putting your war paint on and being like, "Who the fuck you think you?"
I disagree. Because they don't even teach that anymore, that the customer is always right.
They don't.
They have guidelines, policies. If you follow that, then you're not in the wrong. So they don't teach that anymore.
So you're telling me in customer service they don't teach you to have patience with the customer?
Patience is one thing, but not that they're always right.
Because they're not always right.
They're not.
Exactly.
Pretty much when you start working in like retail and customer service in general, they start giving you these forms of like, if they do go out of hand, they give you a script to follow.
Or call the manager or call the supervisor and let them take
Bring
care
someone
of
else,
it.
right.
Yeah.
It's a protocol to everything.
Exactly.
Instead of, you're right. You can do whatever you want.
Right.
Just,
Exactly.
yeah, you're good.
But I think it's more of the fear. Because if you look at the video, it was all black workers, right? You have this white male. Their fear to be the cops to be called on to them. That's what I feel like. It's like we have this embedded fear that this white person doesn't do any wrong and that this person's going to get them in trouble because they're going to lie. They're going to lie and say, "Oh, I didn't touch that person." Because inevitably she lost her job. She got fired.
That was actually fake news.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, she was like on FMLA or something like that.
Something.
Oh,
She's on like paid leave or something like that.
Which eventually they're going to fire her.
More like
So
I mean, it's McDonald's. I'm looking out for their face. So.
Exactly.
But it's a franchise though, so I mean, you could that could have been a privately owned McDonald's. You never know.
Yeah.
That's true, but again, this is the point of the topic of the conversation that we're having. Why are black women, in every regard, mistreated and hated against? It doesn't matter if it's a franchise, publicly owned, black man owned. She's still a black woman at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And most times, it's always the bottom line when it comes to us, especially our women.
Yeah.
So no matter if she handled herself right, she took the hits, she caused the situation, as they would say.
Because to me, black women is at the lowest of the low. Like we're at the bottom of the barrel. And what I've seen is just because different aspects. You have that religion aspect where ideally we're not even in the Bible, right? Because they think everyone in there was white. right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So that's
discussion.
one, which is good. We want people to speak on this.
Right.
Then you got the second aspect where everything that a black woman does, they take it from us and say that they started it. No, negative. That's false.
Preach.
After they down us on every aspect.
Right. Right. So.
Yeah.
And then, thirdly, I don't think that most black women aren't taught to love themselves and to even respect themselves. So hence, if you don't respect yourself, you're not going to require anyone else to.
Yep.
And to piggyback off of that seems to be the stat quo, unfortunately, for society. It's just like, well, why should I respect you as a black woman when you don't respect yourself? Black men don't respect you. Hell, who respects you at this point?
Exactly.
And it all goes back to the fact of you don't love yourself, or you aren't taught love. And I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of different facets to it, in my opinion. But part of it is also, how you were raised. If you were raised in a loving home, you seem to be look at the world a different way versus when you aren't feeling that love. And a lot of times, not even just a black thing, but a human thing, where you don't get that love from your parents that you want, you look for it elsewhere. So that's part of it. I think is the lack of parenting for one of them. Another aspect, like I said, is just mass media. Like, you want to sit here and influence a body of people, just literally put it on television, internet, wherever you want, and it's just propaganda. And you sit here and you blast stuff that degrades black women, well, it degrades black people in general, but especially black women. And then in turn, you teach the black man, in a sense, to degrade black women, and that's okay. That's acceptable for society, which, hell no, it's not. But I mean, of course, we're all raised better. That's another aspect to it as well. I'm trying to think of another one on top of my head.
Oh, there's plenty.
No, there's so many that I would get lost.
I know, but I'm trying to make no tangent.
Of course.
But one thing I could say about the whole TV aspect, if you notice, there's less and less black women on TV, and I feel like it's more gay black men taking our spots.
Yep.
And I've mentioned this to like a few friends. I just feel like every gay person that's flamboyant is trying to be a black woman, and that's acceptable. Because now you have this man who's not a threat to you, right? But it's okay for them to get their nails done and get their hair done and do all this type of stuff. So hence, okay, this is more acceptable, and they're going to listen to us more, where a black woman is going to give you attitude, quotation marks,
That's
right?
Sassy. They're gonna be sassy.
And on that note specifically, I have a not really a great piece or anything like that, but I do know that when it comes to whenever anybody else seems to, especially white people, most likely, when they speak to or get in conversation with a black woman, they always assume that she's going to be sassy, catty, mean, angry, loud, obnoxious. It's not that she's going to be angry from, a visceral standpoint. It's the fact that being a black person, especially a black woman in America, you have to be extremely conscious. Meaning, you're not ready to take bullshit from somebody that you know is possibly going to give you bullshit anyway. So it's not, oh, I'm being bitchy or anything. It's, tell me the truth, be upfront, or go about your business.
Yeah.
It's just say what you gotta say, because I'm not here for the games.
Yeah, exactly. And just, I think is a main reason why people feel so comfortable attacking black women in any way, shape, or form is because of the fact that they have to be so strong. They have to, they have to make sure that they have an image that they carry for their family. They have to make sure they tone their voice like this, because if they talk regular and they say what they say, it's gonna pierce you right through the heart. It's
you ain't know that, bro.
It's
hurt feelings that's like fatal.
Yes, it's ridiculous because they just strong. So it's like, I don't take away anything, but I'm gonna use myself as an example because I'm not a black woman. I'm a black man that grew up with a black woman and was raised by a black woman. This is my regular talking voice. In the workplace, this is too loud. It's too aggressive. It's too potent. I got told this yesterday.
Truth be told, it's loud everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, it don't even matter.
I mean,
You're
yeah,
loud right now.
it's true. But at the same time, we're
but I
not fearing,
understand what you're saying.
for
Right.
our lives,
Right.
you know, just because he's being him.
Right.
This is Kami. I'm sorry. Yeah.
But see, like, alright, so 90% of women aren't gonna have the voice I have. You know, it's 2019 now, so
You
hey.
know.
But anyways,
It's deep.
Well, actually,
It's deep.
actually,
I've heard
I do
deep
have
voices.
one specific sound from last week. I'm damn.
that was that's anyways. I'm not gonna hit on that.
Go ahead.
But when in regard to, you know, the black women and their power, people feel comfortable talking like that because it's like, well, I just seen you scare off one of them weak black men, so he not gonna come to your defense. So I don't see anybody here who I think could beat me. So F it. I'm gonna spit on you. I'm gonna push you. I'm gonna call you a bitch. I'm gonna say fuck you. I'm gonna say what I want to say because I know you're gonna have to be strong by yourself because I have seen this time and time and time again. That is how and people feel so comfortable because it's like, yeah, by yourself, but the other woman gonna want to be strong, but she fucking me. What you gonna do?
But see, that whole idea comes from mass media. So I guess to kind of elaborate what I was saying with that, to put it in the metaphorical sense, I feel as though other races, especially white men, of course, feel that they can treat people like animals and not like people. And if you look at some of the comparison that people treat black women and how they treat animals, there's not much of a difference. In a sense, you look at it like, all right, well, it's a dog. I can do whatever I want. I can kick the dog. I can put the flamethrower on the dog. I can destroy the dog if I want to. And white people had the same mentality for that dog that they do for black women.
Ooh, I disagree. They care for dogs way more than they would care for a black
Metaphorically.
person, period.
But I get what you're saying. Again, animals have more rights than black people.
That's true.
Yes, cats, dog, yeah.
And to expunge on that point as well, white people seem to have this thing about making things a pet, making things comfortable for me so that I can do what I will with it.
Exactly.
Like, what obsessed me the most, one time when I was actually, you know, at work and I was working with a couple of black women, they had their natural hair. One had a fro, one had braids. And just these random white dudes who didn't even work there, who just came up there one day, said, "Oh, I like your hair," and they just started touching her, petting her. And she was like, "Hey, don't touch me." And he was like, "Well, what do you mean I can't touch you?" And I'm over here.
You don't touch a
you
black
can't see my
woman's hair.
face, but I'm like, bruh, seriously? You don't know the one rule. Of course they know the rule, they just don't care. Because
They're white.
you're my pet. I can do what I will with you.
I'm the master race.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything that I see on TV, news, books, schooling, parents, everything says that I can do what I want. And there's nothing saying I can't. So I'm going to do it. Either you get comfortable with it, or you're going to have a problem.
Yeah.
But that's a system. It's set up to be that way. I mean, they can domesticate whoever and whatever they feel like needs to be domesticated.
Or they can try to.
Of course they can try to.
Because,
I mean,
you know, this is 2019 now. And
But what really what really kind of gets to me and it perplexes me of how the only time the black man is seen as alpha, aggressive, and light speed reflexes, he can shot put a diesel, is when the police shoot him. That's the only time. But you see 5 black men around this little black girl, you shouldn't even go in the goddamn store if all of us is like that, right? You know what I'm saying? So how do they like I don't know how they get away with both at the same time?
well, you
Evo,
know,
would you have anything to say on that?
It's a justification. They justify it.
yeah.
but
I mean, it's
that's
just that simple.
Yeah.
It is.
You know.
They're allowed, their privilege allows
Yeah.
them to not only be ignorant of any situation ever, even if they have a phone in their hand, but they can also be stupid to the situation and not know any better. And no matter how old they are, they're still young, ignorant, young sirs and ma'ams because they just don't know.
Right.
For all the white followers that's listening, we not bashing white folk. Essentially, not even essentially, factually, we're telling the truth.
I'm bashing y'all. Because there is such a thing as white supremacy.
And it is true.
So,
it is real.
I mean, if you're offended, then speak up. You know, let's keep the conversation going. But I'm bashing y'all.
I don't know how you bash somebody when you just speaking facts.
Yeah.
You telling the truth about who they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so you thinking you speaking facts. You know what I'm saying? Evo, Nova, we all speaking facts. If it sound like bashing, well,
if the shoe fits, I'm just saying.
Yeah. So that's really it's just annoying. Honestly, it's just annoying. You know.
It's honestly way more than annoying. To cause
it's a travesty, man.
Yeah, you see it every single day. Like I refuse to look at videos and posts now. Because after literally the last, I don't know, 5 straight years of recorded dead bodies, I'm tired of looking at it. It's like, I shouldn't have to be like, I want to have fun today. Let me look at, Facebook and see who's trolling. Oh no, there's another dead body. Oh no, there's another dead body. Oh no, there's another dead body. Oh look, there's another dead body. With recordings, and then the same old spiel. Oh, I didn't know. Same story, switched to another day. Oh, well, we were wrong. Next day, I'm sorry. Next day, nothing happens. And rinse and repeat.
And it's crazy because that's white privilege right there.
Yeah.
If you flip the script the other way and the black person, I didn't know, Oh, nah, stone that guy. Crucify him. Burn his family tree. Make sure him and the rest of it, whoever he thinks he is all going to die.
Yeah.
Just like that cop who accidentally killed a white woman in the line of duty. Within a week.
Minnesota.
Yep. Within a week, he was fired. Not administrative leave. He was fired, put on trial, and now he's in jail. Now that's within the week of getting fired, and now as after about a year, he's serving his time.
And how many black men and women have that have died by a line of fire by some white officer, and they're still out there doing what they want to do?
They just got transferred because you killed somebody in this county. Go to that county. You didn't touch nobody over there.
I mean, I don't know. Hey man, next time we call on camera, go somewhere else.
Yes.
Shit. They on camera. They on
Yeah.
camera. If it's us, we're done.
Even if they say we're probably gonna go to jail.
We don't have to be on camera. Like I heard that.
Yeah.
Emmett Till.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Oh yeah. Woo. Anyway.
Another point I'm gonna try and make though is with the whole thing about the whole self-love. So one thing that I would say, I don't know, with white America you want to blame it on, or you want to blame it on mass media, whatever the case is. They have literally destroyed the concept of a black family.
They did.
So back in I would say before our time, we'll say
it was around the 70s.
Yeah. So you have
1921 to be exact, but
yeah.
Well, I don't know about that. I ain't do that well in history, so. But I'm just saying, you had on TV, it was pretty much the black family. You had the Cosby Show. You had
Roots, right? This is called Roots.
What?
Was
Wow.
Roots? I forget what it's
That
called.
was a movie.
Left field.
But he's talking about regular sitcom.
I'm just talking about regular sitcom, but literally just mass media of just
positive
literally positivity in the black family.
French Piss.
And then
Different
somewhere,
World.
but somewhere along the line, it got screwed up. But now, well, what's a black father? And it seems to be like the taboo thing to say is, oh, you're black, it means you don't have a father. But I'm pretty sure way more black men doing their thing as dads than the media gives you credit for. But I mean, of course, mass media. That's the glory of mass media, is the fact that there's no communication, it's all one-sided. So literally here, force feed you this, and eventually if you see it, eventually you conform to it. But I'm still getting off topic here. So one of the ways that, I guess, in my mind, white America's working is like, you know what? The black man might be a problem one day. How do we I guess, diminish the importance of a black man? We support the black women up and make them help bash the black man. So now you have how many? It seems to be out here now. All these black women like, well, I don't need no black guy. I'm gonna just date somebody outside my race. And I mean, that's acceptable now. Like last time I checked, it takes a husband and a wife to raise a child. But again, I mean, this is what we have. We have broken homes now, and now we have these broken children in these broken homes. They are brought up being broken. I'm sorry, let me rephrase that. These broken children are being brought up with this mentality that's broken, thinking that nobody loves them, and they don't love themselves because of that. Because that's what they all see is what they've been told. And that's part of the reason why I guess there's a race in me is why nobody respects us like that.
Okay, so you're saying that the feminism is the reason why that the black woman is no longer with the black man?
No. I'm saying
That's
that.
kind of what you said, but it's
I think that's how you interpreted it, but
the black man doesn't want the black woman.
Oh,
Not the majority. That's not what you're seeing.
That's
not
Because they also are the ones degrading black women as well. It's not just one.
That was going to my side of my point. Is that
I was actually about to go into that too.
Is that they also they pretty much divided the family. Is what I was getting at. It's like, well, you know what? Hey, you a black man. Degrade her. She ain't nothing. She's a bitch. She's a hoe. She's black.
Right. Like, because I was going to go on your point about in the 70s, back when there was this whole welfare and this, government assistance system that started place where women would start getting the money, but then, of course, the fathers and boyfriends or husbands, whatever, couldn't be in the house. And then at the same time, that's when drugs were pumped into our neighborhoods. And as soon as they got stuck next to it, stuck looking at it, right, just in the area, they were done, locked up, gone for good. Next thing you know, the woman no longer needs the man, and the man doesn't want the woman because she doesn't need him anymore. Or, government makes them think they don't need him. It becomes this cycle of, I don't need her, she doesn't need me, I don't want her, I don't want him. And it's ugly. And then we fast forward 30, 40 years, and we got literally our own people running across the field to go everywhere else at the same time as degrading the other person, just because you ain't got like this other person, you ain't got like that person. Nothing. You can't. Oh, black women are eating shit because white women got this, or Spanish women got that, or Asian women got this. Instead of just saying, I like this person because I like this person.
Yeah, man. Like to hit specifically on two points that Nova was saying. The first one is gonna be that interracial relationship. I want Kunta Kinte to try to go to Kim Jong-un house and date his daughter and see if Kunta Kinte make it out that motherfucker alive. Okay? And see if his daughter make it out alive for disgracing the family. But still, y'all running them motherfuckers. Okay? I had a friend that's the other day. She hit me up. She was like, I got invited to a get together. It's a white girl. She's like, yeah, you can come. Just don't bring any black men because my grandfather will shoot him. And she felt so comfortable saying that to a black woman. It was unreal how she had been conditioned to just be like, yeah, this is the norm. This is okay. Not knowing that she just told, like, hey, if you bring a black guy over here, he's going to get killed. So it's like, well, damn. That tells me he's done killed black people before and got away with it. He don't give a damn. Okay? And now to the second point, which is social media. Specifically, there's a post going around saying a white woman with a fat ass is the biggest threat to a black woman. That is so fucking toxic. Because she has a big butt, she's the biggest threat to black women. Like, that's all black women ever had? Fuck out of here. That type of shit. Like, somehow we need to dilute or just dilute that somehow. I don't know, but that kind of toxic shit is it's upon the trillions.
I mean, that's not the first time I've heard that. And they've also compared like black women with Latinas. So like it's okay for a Latina to have an attitude,
that
right?
Same anger.
Or they're feisty, but a black woman, I don't want to deal with that.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't. I've heard that.
Yeah, same exact
Sure.
thing.
No one says nothing about that. You know what I mean? And then also you said the Asian comment. Like every other race wants an Asian woman, right? Or outside of, but Asian women are getting fake butts and they're getting their boobs done and they're doing all types of stuff.
Yeah, lovely beauty. Just put it out there.
They
lovely
even
beauty.
are changing their hair to become like more kinky, more Afro-like. Like I saw a video the other day how they're able to have this technology and now they can like pick out their hair and it's like Afro. So like I said, every race wants to be us.
Until it's time to be
something.
us.
Yeah.
Right.
The quote Paul Mooney. Everybody want to be a nigga, but nobody want to be a nigga.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's just awesome. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. Okay, it's okay for you guys to want to be us, because I mean,
Who won it?
look, we're strong. We're faster.
The sun loves us.
The sun actually loves us. We age so well, you know. And honestly, we can eat like shit and still age well. You know, meanwhile, Becky with the good hair, you got till 25. You better enjoy that.
Don't show your racism. You look like 50 in a minute.
Woo!
Just saying.
You know, y'all got hints of decent with Sandra Bullock. I think she 50 now.
54, I think.
I think she got 5 surgeries only. You know, and that's not bad. You know, she got $1 million, 5 surgeries. Hey, it is what it is. You know. But seriously, I was actually serious about that. But seriously though, like, it's awesome to be us. So it's okay to want to be us. But what's not okay is you want to be us so bad, then you hate us because, what is it? You hate us because you ain't us. Like, it's, you know, honestly, I understand why. Okay, it's okay to, you know, jealousy. We have actually another podcast on jealousy. You can go look on that one. You know, shameless plug, not really.
No, it's not shameless at all.
Yeah.
Check it out. I'll put a link in the description.
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it's really a shame that, you know, you can't grow to appreciate, because we taught all y'all how to be who you are. Yeah. You know, because Becky with the good hair was running around with the period blood going down her leg every month.
And putting flour on that to hide it, because, you know, pastiness was the best thing, closest to godliness, as they used to say in the 14th century. So.
Yeah, and baths were disgusting to them.
Yeah, was it with smallpox because they ain't washed their ass?
Black Plague too.
Because y'all dirty.
SARS.
So, yeah.
You sound just like him. Anyway, so just and to go back to the original point of, you know, why are black women, you know, the most hated and everything. Mm-hmm. So I had this thought while you were talking about that, and it's gone.
Edit that shit out, man.
Like, cause I was about to say it, but then you said they love us because they hate us. Damn it! It's gone.
All right, so
let's try to get it.
I got another point then.
Go ahead.
Oh my gosh, y'all hilarious, man. All right, so yeah, I forgot my point.
Okay, so let me say this. Okay, we know that this is happening. We know that this is a problem. Mm-hmm. What we need to do is figure out to not make it no longer a problem, and I think that's based off of educating.
My point.
Within the homes. Okay, one, every woman needs to tell their story to their children. Okay, because we've all, not all, but majority has been molested, degraded. And having to work at an early age, or, you know, what have you, but they have a story. They need to start telling these stories to their daughters and their sons. Okay, I do believe that black fathers who are with black women and have these kids, I do believe that they are within the household, like they are uplifting household. I think it's the black men who are no longer want to be with black women are the problem. So we have to figure out why that is, right? Like they're the problem.
Coons.
They are.
Yeah, I mean, essentially that's what that is. But that's a whole nother subject.
Yeah, Sambo ass fuckers. That's what they are.
That's a whole nother subject.
But I just remember my point. It was the interracial marriages. Like, let's say a black man and a white woman and a white man and a black woman. 9 times out of 10, when there's a white person that's married to a black person and that black person speaking up for the cause or speaking up for anything about injustice, 9 times out of 10 you'll always see that they're quiet or sitting in their own corner, not getting involved.
Yes, but you know what I've been thinking about lately is that when you look at what's his name, Colin Kaepernick, and then you look at the guy off of Grey's Anatomy, right? Mind you, interracial marriages, right?
Right.
So why is it that they're so willing to stand up for black women and black people? Like, how did that happen there? And you have these full black homes that are not doing the same thing. And I've been thinking about that lately. And
that's exactly what I was about to say as well. Because we have, of course, I'm so happy that they're speaking up for it and always getting the excuse of, well, they're not black enough. They're only half. What the hell does that matter? You're full. Why aren't you complaining? Why aren't you mad? Why aren't you upset? You have all these people with all this money risking their lives and their careers for you. and you're not even doing it for your own brother or sister because you ain't got the money or some shit.
Yeah, I don't understand that.
So I'm gonna speak from the other side and say you have to understand exactly what, not exactly, that's very limiting. You have to understand in a spectrum kind of way of how powerful the media is, how powerful self-hate is, and how powerful, brainwashing and what's that word where ingrained. It's ingrained in your being to be a certain way. For instance, perm. How many 90s kids and 80s children had perm in their hair? Like, oh my God, what are you doing? It's an afro. Oh no, perm. Oh, it looks more presentable. It looks more professional. Professional. It looks more exceptional. I can accept that. Yeah. So when you look at that and you say, well, damn, this is the way I was born. And this chemical was made to change the way I was born. Damn. The other day I seen a girl in the store and she was dark. Okay, she was really dark. And the first thing I thought was, damn, she's beautiful. But the second thing I thought was, I wonder how long it took for her to love herself because of how and because of how we were raised and how society says you dark, you an African booty scratcher. Oh, you dark, oh, you burnt. Oh, you ain't chocolate, you a cockroach. You bird shit on the ground. You're everything but beautiful. You're dark, you're stronger, you're aggressive. You're dark, you're louder, like everything. Everything is bad about it. So when you look at those full black dark people that have been conditioned to do what they do, you have to, you ask them, why aren't they doing that? Well, we just spoke on how powerful white supremacy is. You know what I'm saying? I say, fuck y'all, but I know how strong it is. You know what I'm saying? I know that there's not a single person, a single individual that's going to rise up, that's going to be like, yeah, this is over now. You know? Because Martin, Malcolm, Huey P.
Medgar Evers.
You know what I mean? Like, look at all, like, those are powerful individuals. When Malcolm and Martin were about to collide and make a hailstorm of, conveniently, he got killed by his own people. Conveniently, Martin Luther King somehow got shot with inside, you know what I mean? Like, inside the hospital, he got shot. Come on.
On that note, he was shot by a man hired by the U.S. government that was also found to have hired him, and the pages are still in the actual archives. You can actually look him up and find that he was paid for by the government.
1991 is the year that the government was found guilty for murdering him. If y'all want to look that up, by the way.
Crabs in a bucket.
So, when you look at that, it's like, all right, I don't try to cape for people that are built that way, because coons die. That's how I feel. Honestly, coons die. Yeah. But at the same time, I can't call myself an intelligent human being and be like, hey, you're doing this for absolutely no reason. Why aren't you doing it? That's just what I'm saying. Look at it objectively and look at it from that perspective, and you may be able to come to terms with, damn, that's how strong white supremacy is, and especially 400 years, and they just made lynching a federal crime just now. Fuck out of here. One more other thing. The last slave plantation was in Mississippi, and it just got shut down. And guess what year? 1999, the year of Y2K. They thought the world was gonna end. They didn't want their God to punish them for still having slaves. They knew it was wrong. Would you look at that? But hey, I'm just a black man and I'm crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna let y'all talk. During the silence, can you make sure your phone is silent? Appreciate you, bro.
It was good.
I don't know how I follow that.
I'm literally like a lost watching.
Yeah, I really am.
You want me to turn it into something else?
You're fine. It's just
but you made a comment saying that they when black people go against other black people, you don't know why they're doing it. Like there's no, how do you don't know what was offered to these people. You know what I mean? Like what money, or if their family was threatened or gonna be taken care of because times is hard. Not to excuse it, okay, but you can't make that statement and you don't know exactly what was going on at that time.
Yeah,
So you know what I mean? Like everyone have their reasons for doing something. It's like, okay, earlier we talked about how women was given money for their kids, like welfare and stuff like that. Well, it goes deeper than that, because at some point they were sterilizing women. Women didn't even know it to get paid.
Yep.
They demasculized the black male, so that is what broke the family, you know. But this woman felt that she needed to do that because my man cannot get a job, right? Because all the unions and the jobs and labor was taken away from them. All these skills that they had, they could no longer get hired for. So hence, we stopped using our skills, and then we went to school, and now we in debt. Like it's just a cycle for us to stay down.
Yeah, it was built. It was made specifically to bring it down, and everything that it's for the people of America. But we forgot to tell you the fine print of the very, very packed 537,000 pages. But also, if you're a black, Mexican, Hispanic, or anything like that, you can't get this, that, the other. It's against you. You can't do this. You can't apply for this. If your credit score just happens to be this, and of course, you know, if you don't own this much land, and there's a subtle, strong wording in their texts.
I would say that I feel like our time is coming.
Oh yeah.
Like, for instance, you bring up perms. Those relaxers are going out of business.
Oh yes, and I'm so.
You know
happy.
what I mean? So, you know, all the new businesses are owned by black women. I mean, that's a good thing, but at the same time,
right.
you know, it's kind of bad, right, for
Right.
the black male. But black males, they're graduating college. They're moving up. You know, so now the focus would be on what are they going to try to get us on now.
They just gonna start outright killing us, as we see. Oh, he had a
nice car.
He had a book. Shoot him! Like that's what.
No bullshit.
Like,
this is why the car I got, I ain't get anything better than that, because like my credit score is, you know, alright. So I could afford a lot more than that. But I was like,
mini flex.
Let me be smart.
I'll keep my little maxi pad. At least I won't get shot in that, hopefully. Versus me going in and getting me like I don't know.
A new Caddy or
Porsche.
BMW or Mercedes or
I don't
something.
got no Porsche money, but yeah, I could probably do the BMW. But yeah, it was just like, if I got me a bit. Wait a minute, that guy's black and driving a nice car.
And he's next to flowers? No.
Yeah, so yeah, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's just saying you gotta think that way, but that's just what America is today. I mean, apparently, white supremacy has it so like, hey, if you're not white and you're not male, then you're not a person. And I don't treat you as such. And that's what it boils down to. Bottom line to me is like, I mean, until we start treating people like people, there's always gonna be some type of conflict or some type of disparity, whether it be race, whether it be color, whether it be sex, whatever the case is.
And in my mind, until there's death, nothing's going to change. That's how I feel.
I wouldn't think that way. But we do have a lot of issues within the community that we need to fix first. Because like he mentioned about a darker skinned woman.
Right.
That's another thing that we women have to deal with. I haven't had to deal with that. But what I would say is I have seen that I get a lot of privileges wherever I get whatever I want. So, but I can look at the next woman and
Flex sister.
I'm being honest because I haven't experienced a lot at
And
all
that's
my
great.
whole life. I
And
have
that's
not experienced
great.
a lot at all.
Beautiful.
But I've heard stories to say, you know, I can't get this, or why they accommodating you and they're not accommodating me. And in my mind, I'm not thinking it's the shade of her complexion. I just think I'm a little bit more nicer. But I know deep down that's not what it is. It is the shade, right?
The colorism is a real thing.
Right, and if you don't look like hella pretty,
or super light, or you got the bright hair, not the 4C, but the
something.
the Haley kind of hair,
Right.
the mixed hair.
Hazel eyes or something.
Like, but whenever I see
Yeah.
those posts that you be sharing of those dark girls, I'm like, oh, I love
Gorgeous.
that
Gorgeousness.
brown. It's so delicious.
Yeah.
I'm like, goodness gracious.
Prime example, y'all, you don't know, but y'all know my girlfriend, obviously.
Right.
A darker complexion, but she got money. Her folks got money. So like, it's
she
funny.
got the green complexion.
So it's funny because it's like people be trying to act funny. It's like, well, how much money do you make again? Oh, you still making that? I made that 4 years ago. Well, how many degrees? Oh, you don't have a degree yet. I have 2, working on my 3rd. And you still want to? And how old are you? Damn, you're still 4 years older than me. What have you done with yourself lately? And you got white privilege. What's your excuse? And it's funny because I literally have to watch this all the time. My girl had to go every once in a while. Like, all right, listen, like, flex, like, put you back in your place. You have a good day. Fuck yourself.
But why do you feel the need to do that? I feel like that's our downfall.
Why
We
should-
shouldn't have to do that.
You shouldn't.
Like, that's why I'm so against, like, name brand clothes. I don't do it.
Same.
Name
Exactly.
brand cars, nah.
Like-
they driving Toyotas. like
I got
you know
2
what I
hoodies
mean?
over there. I don't know what brand they are, and I love them joints so
That's
much.
it. College degree don't make or break you.
Right.
So somebody could say that. I was like, oh, okay. Like, I don't care. That doesn't impress me, and it doesn't make you better than me.
Right.
At the
You know
same
what I
time,
mean?
it's
So, because you can have that degree, but you don't have that drive as like I have the drive for myself. You know what I mean? So I don't feel like need, and I feel like that's how they got us. They got us to focus on these college degrees, got us to focus on not having
our
like hard
generation.
labor. You know, now we're not taking these like mopping jobs or trash jobs because now that's
beneath
beneath
me.
us, right? But why?
I'm too good for that. Instead of
feeding your
realizing
family.
that way back after slavery ended, we were maids, trash men, school teachers. We were all those small things that
Electricians,
everybody
plumbers,
looks down
all
on.
this stuff, and now we don't even do that. We're getting stupid degrees like arts. For what? What you want to do with that?
And 9 times out of 10, you don't even get the job for the degree you're
Exactly.
Exactly.
But now you have all this debt,
Right.
right? Again, the system got you holding down again.
in. And
Don't
then
even know
and
it.
then again from the 70s and up, even before then too, the whole, oh, you got paper, like, degree. We're a flex, but my paper is more than your paper. My paper costs $1,000 more than your paper, so I'm a better person than your paper.
Right.
All right, cool. But what are you doing for your friends and your family and the people around you? Like,
Right.
you can have all these accolades that that was shown to you. Like, you gotta have this. Be in the white man's world. All this makes you cool and successful. But why do we have to raise ourselves to their standards of success?
Exactly.
When I feel like success makes you who you are based on what you think your success is. Like, I think success is I can eat something, I can order something out, and not have to worry about, do I have money for gas? That's my version of success. I can eat and still have money left over. That's me.
Yeah.
So great point. So to hit on that same point, so
Go ahead. I'm waiting.
like it happened to everybody, alright? Alright, 'cause I had something that I was like, okay.
It didn't happen to me yet.
Oh, we're flex, but okay.
I'm just saying. You
Mini,
know?
mini flex.
sorry.
Alright.
Your success is showing.
Alright, so to hit on how potent, and powerful once again white supremacy is, Taco made a great point to say that, we don't have to live up to their standards of success. Because the reason why we don't have those jobs today is because of how we were raised. By the people who were working those same jobs were saying, damn, I'm tired of breaking my back every day. I gotta walk with a limp. I can't go to the gym. I've been gotten fat. I have pains every day for no reason because of the job that I do. I do not want this for you, my child. Make sure you get your education. Make sure you don't have to do what I do. You be better than that, because they view people that were, yeah, I'm about to go for a run today, 5-mile run. 5-mile run. I've been worked out all goddamn day, and I'm still making minimum wage, and I'm still breaking my back. I'm still having to stub my toe, So like I just wanted to put that out there, like that this another aspect of how they didn't necessarily have to do anything directly to us. You can get hit with the shockwave of it, and it still affects you just like you got hit with the actual, contact of it. That's just something I need, people to really think about, think about it. Just sit and think about it. Not ponder, but think about it. So that was I just wanted to make sure I got that thought out there.
What are we thinking about?
We're thinking about how potent white supremacy is, to the point that the people that work them labor jobs, like you're a cement mason, you're a carpenter, you're a trash man. Trash man pick things up and put them down all damn day. Okay, so you're breaking your back, but then you look at the houses of where you're at, and you see white families sitting on the computers like this while you're outside. You're like, damn, it's 30 out here. I'm pretty sure he got heat. Pretty sure he got hot car. I'm pretty sure he doesn't got to be in uniform because he's in his house working, or he's off today because he didn't feel like going. Me, I had to do this. White supremacy in that aspect did not necessarily make direct contact with them, but when you look at how good they have it, you want it.
So they were envious.
Yeah.
So it was envy.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So envy is what caused them to now get out from outside, that hard labor, to do what? To go to school?
To say, I don't want this for you, my child, because I've been breaking my back for 30, 40 years, and I still can't fucking retire yet. I have to work at 70, which is the thing today. People that retire had to come out of retirement, and their body broke down, so now they gotta learn something. You know what I mean? Like,
that's because black people don't know how to handle their money, or they didn't trust the banks, and they wasn't taught financial awareness. But at the same time, it's a cultural thing. So, like, for instance, my parents are Jamaican. To go to school in Jamaica, you gotta pay. So my parents are always like, go to school. The school is free here. Even to this day, my dad was like, man, I want you to get your degree. Because no one in my family has their degree. But he equivalents degree as being successful. I keep on trying to tell him that don't mean nothing to me. But he's always told me that every generation was hard. He said his fathers told him life was going to be harder than what it was for him. And my dad told me life is going to be that much harder than it was for him growing up. And it's going to continue because of the way the world is going. Because when I graduated high school, for real, to be successful, all you need was an associate's degree. Yeah. You need like 2 degrees, like a doctorate and a master's now to even be somebody.
Yeah, because in today's day, a bachelor is nothing more than a high school from the 70s.
Exactly. So they've upped it. Every time we have accomplished it, because we can do anything we put our minds to. Mm-hmm. Now they raise the bar. Oh man, we gotta tell them to actually get this, to even get this entry level position.
And that's what I'm about to say. They make it worse because they make it so that you get less than what's even supposed to be for that position. And if you do get the position, good luck, because it could be an internship if you don't even know it.
Exactly. So I don't think it's envy. I just think that it's a change of mentality, right? So because as you get along, right? Like I said, my dad told me to get education. But to me, he's old school. So now my mentality changed where I feel like I don't need a degree to be successful. So hence, when I have kids, I'm not going to teach them to get a degree, but I'm not going to knock it out either, because they have to make their own way. Right? And you have to show them to be proud in what they're doing. If I'm outside landscaping, I own that landscaping company, and that's what you have to teach them, to own it, not to be a worker.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I'd rather be my own boss instead of being somebody's worker, be making them millions and being too tired to work on my damn dream. To hell with that.
I'll plant a tree.
Right?
I ain't got no problem. It's gonna die.
I'll dig that hole.
It's
my
gonna
damn
die.
self.
But guess what? I owned it. I'm gonna reap the benefits.
You dug the hole.
Look, you paid me to put it in there. I ain't say it was going.
Yeah, I did my job.
Right, exactly.
So I think at this point, I think we've already pretty much left the topic at hand, which was why black women are most hated and everything else, and we moved on to a lot of different things that branched off into the different aspects, and I think that's pretty good. Yeah. And
all that also leads back to. It
all leads to it, but it's
it's
literally a branching tree that leads back to the same root. So I think we hit on some pretty good points. I don't have a problem ending it. If you guys don't have a problem, if you have anything else, more than welcome to.
I'm good.
I mean, I would put in something, but I honestly don't know the exact topic. So I mean, if you can give me like the quick breakdown of it, so I can put my little 2 cents.
New challenge you're approaching.
You know what I mean?
Why do you think black women are so disrespected in society today?
Oh,
closer.
Damn, I did a good job.
Make sure you project towards the mic.
True. So y'all basically just, touch on it a lot more. It's something that it has been cultivated over time when it comes to, like how black women are treated as far as, what is they're supposed to do, like what it is that how they're supposed to behave, how they should be treated, how they should be expected to be treated in multiple different kinds of ways. And it goes back to, like I said, y'all pretty much already went into it, just, like slave times, just, when it had to be more so something like, you're my piece of property, you're going to be treated the way I'm pretty much going to treat you, how it is that, how I eat, how I want things to be, that's how it is for you, and it should be like that. And for the rest of your family, that's how it should be as well, too. And don't you step out of line on what it is I want you to be, otherwise, we're going to deal with you, in a certain kind of way. And so, like you said, it's something that has been learned to really have that kind of culture, And so, with I would say the coming in a new age, 21st century, is something that, I'm very happy on the whole self-love kind of thing that people have been, more so just taking advantage of, particularly for black women. It's something that, I'm a very strong proponent of making sure that you should always love yourself. And, you should never ever have anybody give you an opinion on how you should be or who you should be. If you love yourself and know who you are, nobody can tell you shit. You know what I mean? So it's something that just goes back to, trying to unlearn that whole thing that generations and generations of other cultures, back in those days have been learning, and, trying to just shift that whole thing. You know what I mean? So that's what I gotta say. You know what I mean?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
If you see a black woman in the street or in a grocery store, what is your first thought? If you can remember.
I mean, it depends. So.
On what?
If they're cute.
Okay, we made that point, right? Okay,
yeah,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean.
So if they're cute, are you nicer to them?
No, not in general. I mean, personally, for me, like I have a very, unless I need to, I don't have a need to be nice to most people a lot of times. That's just kind of like just how I approach most things. Unless I have a necessity to, like, okay, that seems like, I can be nice with you, or you have that kind of aura and stuff like that. But in general, like, I don't necessarily give people a pass unless I see something that's basically making it, worth me giving them my time. You know what I mean? But in general, just I don't know. Like my view of a lot of people is somewhat different because I do photography, and so whenever I do, like, particularly for women, I see women, like, I don't see them almost in a sense of, I guess, like either lesser selves or something like that too. Like I always look, I look people in forms of art almost. Like I take into consideration for most women, particularly like most African women, like their shape. You know what I'm saying? Like how they walk, pretty much like their demeanor, like their aura, just how they present themselves a lot of times too. It doesn't even have to be like in a very
sexual
way.
I know exactly what you mean, because as a photographer myself, you see them not as a random person on the street. You see them as a possible, how would that shot look if they had a light coming from this cheek, or a light on their pupil, or
well, not even sometimes really that is just more so just like to me, like personally for me, like I find black women walking art. You know what I'm saying? Like it's something that I feel as though like any black woman that's within your presence should be praised. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. Like, so
if her aura is negative because she had a rough day that day at work, and you saw in the grocery store, and she's probably trying to figure out how she might feed her kids, and the day is just bad. Are you going to approach her or try to help her? Like, are you okay? Like, what are you going to do? Because now the aura is bad. You got a bad aura.
Yeah, it's a little bit difficult for that. I mean, that comes down, I guess, to a different conversation of understanding people and knowing how to properly approach people that essentially aren't within the right headspace. You get what I'm saying?
I get it. But you said that you don't like to be nice to people unless you have to.
Yeah, true. I mean,
and then you, at the same time, you said that you look at them as art.
Yeah.
But and then also an aura. So with all of that being said, how you going to?
I mean, it depends.
You know, cause it just seems like you just bypass her and be like, man, fuck her, and then keep on walking because you don't want to be nice.
That's not really not only that. It's more so. It's more to a degree of, you know what I mean. Like I said, it's a different conversation, but it's more so if you're able to basically look at somebody and perceive like what's going on with them, you know, it's just like I said, just a quick glance is understanding that person from kind of like the outside looking in, you know what I'm saying? Like you from that kind of sense, you can determine how you would basically approach somebody. Like for me, I like I said, I'm not a person that really has that full niceties of somebody unless necessary. But if I can kind of tell, is like, you know, maybe somebody just, you know, you can feel that kind of feeling. It's just like maybe they need like just somebody to just say something. It doesn't have to be anything just like meaningful in particular. Just something that they just need to basically get that, you know, that's like pat on the back. You know what I'm saying, from themselves.
So you're willing to do that?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Have you done it?
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Like I said, not all the time. I'm very selective with my energy. So I mean, it to a degree, like it's not gonna happen all the time. But if I feel as though it's necessary, then yeah, you know what I mean. So.
Okay.
That's you. Evo, have you done that?
Done what?
Exactly what you've asked. Have you seen somebody with a negative energy, black women, and been like, sis, let's talk?
First off, my energy is kind of intimidating, so I have to kind of watch how I approach people. But if I see something, I'm like, are you okay? They're like, yeah, I'm fine. And I'm like, as long as I ask, I'll keep on moving, because you can't force anybody to come and talk to you, you know. But if they want to, they'll open up. But like again, my energy is different on a different level, so not too many people is gonna kind of receive me. They see me as a threat for some reason, but
because you are a black woman. And because your chin is up, you know who you are.
yeah.
Meaning, I can't fuck with this person
Because they know themselves.
Right.
And they're not gonna take no shit.
Right. So I gotta kind of tread lightly with other black women, because
But see, it's a weird thing for some people too sometimes. Oh, my bad.
No, you good.
Like,
you can finish it back, 'cause I'm going to ask you something specific, so go ahead.
It's a weird thing sometimes for people. Is like, you know what I'm saying, like some people's energy all at the same time is like, not even like I said, not trying to go too deep with it too, but for me personally, even though I don't outwardly put a lot of, I guess, invitation to people like basically talking to me, but usually though, I find this is something I've learned since I was a kid, that people just find it easy to talk to me. They find, like, no matter where I am, I can be literally anywhere. I can be like, I don't know, just like on a bus or on a train, just sitting next to somebody. And it's not as if I'm giving them that invitation that I'm saying like, hey, you know what I'm saying, like just like a cheery attitude, just chill to myself. But just like there's something about my aura just makes people just like, you know, what's up? Just they just want to say something. You know what I mean? And I don't shut people down completely. You know, I do try to, you know, be a little bit open and like I guess just because it just happens, and so I've just gotten used to it now.
When you feel the need to do that.
Right. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Just like when it's necessary. But other than that, it's like I said, it's learning people and just knowing, you know. I guess almost in a sense putting yourself in somebody else's shoes and understand like, hey, you can kind of see, you know, like what's going on, like how they're carrying themselves, how they may walk and stuff like that too. Like it's just in general. It's like if you're able to put like particularly if you have to catch those kind of things, you can, you know, try to catch it like, okay, you know, hey, they might be having a bad day, or it's like, you know, it's just something in general is just off. You know what I'm saying? And just trying to catch that and, you know, just, you know, get, like I said, a little pat on the back or something. You know, this is it.
Okay.
So I want you to repeat the original question, because I want to make sure that I answer it like real full the way I was getting it the moment
Of what
ago.
we are talking about. Why do you feel that black women are so disrespected in society today?
Why black women are so disrespected in society today?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna try to keep the back portion of my thought process real brief as much as possible. In history, they'll tell you that if you study Malcolm X, he said that one of the most dangerous things that would happen to the black family was if we were to integrate. He was kind of against that. And what we see is that ever since that time period, we've kind of been chasing the Joneses, for lack of a better sense, trying to emulate everything that somebody who looked like they were in a better position than us had. And so we kind of created a space for us in the bottom of the middle class. With that came some other inherent things too. So our family dynamic, which was very powerful and very rich, like you couldn't break it no matter what you were doing before, we kind of fell into some of the same kind of roles where, you know, okay, this is where the wife is and this is the breadwinner, this is how this works. And before we were doing every type of way, twist and turn to survive and support one another. The man had to leave the home to even get like a support check because they couldn't get work. Like there were just things that we would do that didn't have to make fiscal sense as we know it today. Mm-hmm. But we've changed and adapted to the society and the system that's there. So with that, our women played the same role that other people's women were being treated as at that time. When the Industrial Revolution happened, that's when the feminist movement first got traction for it. That's when it was actually, okay, we're actually legally going to give y'all some steam because we need y'all working in these factories. Mm-hmm. And so they became like the second-class citizen just to get the menial work out of you. And we started treating our women the same way once we got to play. And so if we want to say, why are the black women disrespected in society? Women have been disrespected in society for a very long time period. We came on the back burner and we are the youngest civilization, so to speak, on the face of the planet. So we haven't even learned to relate to one another the way other cultures have. You said that your family's from Jamaica. Mm-hmm. There's certain things you came with as far as how education was valued. You were maybe a couple of generations ahead of where general African American families here in this country already were. Right. So there's certain values and things that are just a further step ahead. One thing that I heard Femi say earlier, he said that, I think it was actually somebody else was talking about the envy. Mr. Jones, he was over here talking about how, you want what the next person has. One thing that in my brain just started firing right there, he said that, I want what they have. He said envy, but there's a pain or loss. There's something that we felt like we were missing, entitled to, we should have. It's just like liberty's supposed to be. We're supposed to have that. I'm born free. I deserve that. That's like my humanity. Why is that on a stick? But in that same regard, that thing that was snatched away, stolen, or dangled in front of you, we haven't learned how to heal those wounds. And so when somebody else is walking in their freedom, it feels intimidating because I'm trying to get mine, you got yours, and I don't play the same song, we're not in the same tune. We don't know how to speak life into the next person. We don't know how to be present for somebody that is, like you were saying, in pain earlier. And so we got to start learning how to treat one another as real humans. And it sounds real easy, but it's not. To be really present for somebody else's pain, legitimately. To take some crap off of somebody else, because that's maybe what it takes for them to know what it means to trust, because maybe that's what abuses look like, what love should be somewhere else. So, empathy. I mean, real empathy. Real empathy. But to be able to feel it and not have to run from it, not to try to control it, but to be present for that human experience, that's just something that we have to learn, and it takes time.
I agree. I do agree. One thing you had said, and I'm going to wrap this up.
Are you sure?
You said that
15 minutes
women
later.
have always been like, did you use the word like disrespected? But in what way? Because, okay, so if we go all the way back, before we even came to the United States, or before it was the United States, right? I don't believe that we was disrespected then in Africa.
Of course not.
So,
right? So then when we came over here, we were, I think both of us, everybody was disrespected.
I might argue that point with you just from a historical standpoint. We had so many civilizations and cultures throughout Africa kingdoms that did things so different. Some, they were actually matriarchal societies. There were some where the women were the dominant presence. And there were others that had a strong patriarchal to the point where we had arranged marriages the whole nine, and it was what it was.
I wouldn't equivalent that to be disrespected. See, you gotta understand, culturally, because like, I don't mind if I find the right man to be submissive, because at the same time I'm submissive, but he should be treating me like an equal as well. right? Like within the household that I know, my dad don't say nothing about the house. He's like, that's how your mother want to do it. That's how she want to do it.
Yeah, he definitely is old school.
The whole house could be
that's what it is.
that's what it is. You know what I mean? So going back in African ways where the women took care of the kids and the food, whatever, they were okay with doing that. It's just now that Western civilization has come abroad and it's like, oh, that's wrong. What's wrong about it? If they felt like they were being respected within their household, they were taking care of their kids, and what said went. So hence when you see that or you read that, you're like, man, how could they do that? But if you were to grow up into that, it's the norm. It is okay. Not to say that they're not people or women who would want to change it, you know, because change is always happening.
And again, like I said, it's going to be in the eye of the beholder. What your sense of normal is might give you your thing. There are ways to transcend it. If you look at history, if you look at the whole picture, there's ways of looking at things outside of your own personal lives.
Yeah.
And then you can create values for what's important beyond. Like you said, like your dad gave you one, you had a context, there's some weight and there's some value to it. The days and days have maybe changed a little bit, but then there's a bigger picture because you've gone a little bit further than he has. So you see things differently.
Yeah.
And so I'm saying, like, we'll look at our American culture because we've lived in it, we tasted enough of it to know, yeah, it was good, it was bad, what really don't pass the sniff test. We have a hard time doing that with another culture because we haven't lived in it enough to feel like we can give it a fair judgment.
I feel like most Black Americans don't have a culture. So hence you down every other culture that you're not familiar with. And I think y'all trying to find yourselves, so hence the reason why y'all looking at white people, Asians, other people to be like, oh, that's how I'm gonna be. That's what I want to be.
Nah,
you know.
I promise you, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
As far as America has an anti-culture, so the whole thing of race and white and black, that's all anti-culture. That is a construct. That has nothing to do with real culture. No, nothing. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
But what I am saying is, just as we would nitpick somebody else's culture, or we would say like, yeah, that really wouldn't work for me or my family or the way we are. There are some things that I could say about African culture that would speak to who I am and the diversity of our people. There's some things that, you know what, that really wouldn't work for me and that wouldn't work for our family. Try it, test it through all the way through. We can all learn from each other. I do believe in the beauty of diversity and what other people have to bring to the table as a whole of humanity. With that said, I don't glorify one above the next because they all got something that they lack and something that could be added to. That's all I'm saying.
Of course, yeah, I agree with that.
I agree. Now you had said something, the construct, and I was like, oh, you got it. Because I was going to shoot that right at you, like. So
that's a whole podcast for it. I got to do it. They got a great book about that. Like, he's a white brother. He's awesome, but he talks about his struggle with whiteness. That's a whole another matter, though.
We can definitely go on that another time. Anybody else have anything else they want to add?
Nah, we good.
Those are our two new guests.
Major, great.
And hope you guys enjoyed. Let's go ahead and say goodbye for now. Let's have my guests that were originally on.
Nova.
Evo.
Kami.
And we'll see you guys in the next one. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns about any of the points that we've made, please don't hesitate to put them in the comments below. Anything at all. Because we want to keep bringing this information out to you. Whatever our opinions are, whatever your thoughts are, or how you feel about what we may have said. I'd love to see what you would say.
And don't feel scared to hit that like and subscribe button.
Hell, hit the dislike too, because that means you looked at the video.
Yeah, at least you got an opinion on something.
Exactly. So, without further ado, we all say peace out to you.
Here.
Bet.